What's going on, YouTube? This is Gabrielle coming at you with a Real Housewives of New York kind of season recap. Since I haven't been recapping the episodes individually, um, I kind of try to. I'm kind of uneasy right now, only because I made a really, really big mistake, and I'm feeling really bad about it. About 20 minutes ago, while the show was on, a guy came by in a Alder shirt. And I guess Alder is a security company that I've never ever heard of before. But he wanted to, he saw, we had a sign in our yard for another security company, and he wanted to talk to us about getting a better system and everything like that. And I told him, my husband is the one who does that. So pretty much he wanted to know, when he could talk to him. And at the time, I really was not thinking. I was watching the show. I just didn't even put two and two together. Um, but I told him, he doesn't get out till 10. I shouldn't have said that. Then I was like, well, his off days are Thursday, Friday, so you can come back. And because he had said, well, what about tomorrow? I was like, well, he'll be here till 12:30. So I pretty much just gave him my husband's entire work schedule, which is crazy. And it's just kind of like, why did I do that? So I told my husband, because at the time I was thinking, yeah, they got like the better system, the one that I want with the touch keypad and all that good stuff. And he was saying something about fire, to where if there's a fire, they automatically alert the fire department. And so I was just like, okay, that's great, because I don't think we had it right now. We probably do. I don't know. And so now I'm sitting here like, well, shoot, I gave all this information. So I guess I sit down and I'm in this good mood, still watching the shows, and came back from commercial, and I'm texting my husband and I'm saying, hey, this guy just came by about this security company. He was like, he's probably just like casing joint or something. I was like, what? And so I started thinking about it, like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. About an hour earlier, I went outside to cut the water, cut my sprinkler system back on because it had been raining here. And so I turned the time sprinklers off, and I turned my garden sprinkler on or whatever. And so I had the system off or whatever. And when I went outside to the front, I saw a cop across the street, two houses to the right, and it's like he was like doing a report, maybe for a robbery. And so as soon as I get to talk to my husband, he says this, everything started adding up to where I'm like, this man is coming back to rob us. I just gave him my husband's entire schedule. I mean, he knows when he's going to be here, when he's not. He sees that, I'm in the front room with the light on. And at any point in time, he can just come back and do that. So now I'm kind of just feeling uneasy. Even though I watched this show, half of the show is out of my mind by now. And so work with me, people. I'm trying to do my best. But at the same time, I'm hoping that this guy does not come back to this house. I usually don't even answer the front door, because I'm always like, this is my husband's house, not my house. That's just what I say. But yeah, so work with me on this one. So I the from after, I guess, the second episode, when I really, really liked it, because all of the girls were having a good time at the bar and everything, and John showed up and all that good stuff. The season kind of just went into a real catty slash promo infomercial slash just a lot of, let's show the new businesses we're on, which I understand this is a very good not pedestal. This is a very good I'm missing a word, but platform. It's a very good platform to put your businesses out there, because we want to see what you're doing as a housewife. But at the same time, it's kind of redundant to keep hearing about these businesses over and over and over every episode. I mean, I've been knowing about Skinny Girl since Bethany was on the show in the beginning. So it's one of those things where you just go, yeah, my lip gloss is popping a little bit too much. So it's just one of those things where you go, well, goodness, like, how many businesses do y'all have to where y'all, but once they got to the point where they were decorating cupcakes and all that good stuff, and it kind of seemed like they started doing the whole separation thing, where I think Bethany Ramona, Sonia, Luann, and Dorinda all went to dinner, and then Kristen, Carol, and Heather, they were all discussing something. And I'm I don't like the vision with these shows. The one thing that really made me like the Real Housewives of Atlanta when I first started watching was how everyone knew everyone and they kind of were all really good friends. And so we just kind of got to see that friendship blossom, develop, and then kind of have its ups and downs as well. So I don't like the division, but at the same time, I'm hoping that the division causes us to get rid of Heather, Carol, and Kristen because I just don't like them for this show. Um, I'm start watching this episode. I'm starting to see why a lot of people dislike Ramona, dislike Sonia, and dislike Bethany. I can see it. I haven't given up on them, but I can see it. Me, my relationship, so-called relationship with Luann is still so-so. Um, from the last episode where Ramona went off on Kristen about being dumb. I thought that was uncalled for, but at the same time, I don't like Kristen, so I didn't really mind it. But I mean, that's pretty much a good catch up right there. I mean, Kara was being messy. I don't know if she made up what she said to Kristen that Bethany said. I don't know why she would have went back and just said it like that, especially at that time. But I do know that Bravo is really good about flashing back to a scene for us to know what's going on. So if they didn't get it on camera, I don't really know how truthful it is. I mean, I could see Bethany saying something around those lines, but I don't see why Carol would go back and just say, Bethany said, you're stupid. You're too dumb to get your own trademark. She probably is. I don't know. But when we get to where Bethany is talking to Kristen, Bethany first, she just shuts down like, I'm not even going to do this. Bye. And I loved when she did that because one, there wasn't the place for it, excuse me. And two, don't come to me with a rumor or don't come to me as if you knew exactly what I said and you're just going to speak on it without asking me about it first. Like, did you say this? She didn't even ask her that. Sorry, it's just really, really bright. So the thing that kind of throws me off, these girls get over stuff really easy. I must just be a grudge holder because I just couldn't see myself just being around these girls and then just being like, okay, I'm gonna forget what we just said last night and move on. And it seems they do that with, well, all of them do that with each other. So moving on to this episode, there's not a lot to recap because all of it was shot in like one scene. We start with the end of last week with Kristen leaving the room, Ramona saying, you know, I was a little strong on her or whatever. That's about it. And then Bethany is talking to Sonia or Kristen, or she's talking to somebody. She's talking to Kristen, and then she tells her how she has that resting B mode face. And Sonia walks off, and I didn't even really catch I rewinded the conversation twice, and still didn't catch what they were talking about. I just noticed that Bethany said that Kristen has a certain kind of face, that is off-putting when she, you know, that certain face she makes when she comes up into a conversation, and that is what it is. So pretty much we move on to Turks and Caicos, and all the ladies are there. Ramona and Sonia make this big deal about getting their room. Really not Sonia, but Ramona makes a big deal about her room. She's kind of like the boss of everybody for some reason when it comes to getting the room. Now, to my understanding, Sonia invited the girls to Turks and Caicos, and though I believe we all know that Bravo paid for it, since they had it coming as if Sonia was the host, I believe that Sonia should have been able to choose whatever room she wanted, or she should have been able to choose everybody's rooms for them. So it didn't really seem to go with the whole theme of this being Sonia's trip. But whatever, we just like, you know, we didn't know that. And Ramona chooses a room downstairs. Sonia chooses a room upstairs, and Ramona's not budging. She doesn't want to see the room Sonia has. Sonia has a room with a bathroom that's shared with somebody, but it has a tub. Ramona doesn't have a tub. She has a shower, but she's not sharing a bathroom with anybody. So that's that. Sonia gives in, goes downstairs. I think they need the room downstairs anyway. I don't I mean, they'll probably be complaining about stairs the next day. So, and with the way Sonya is being carried in her room every time she gets drunk, I don't think she needs to be going upstairs at night anyway. Um, a little later on, Sonya, not Sonya, Ramona goes to the pool or whatever, and then she has like these hooker shoes on, and Bethany and Luann are talking about her before she gets out there, and having a little kiki, a little laugh or whatever, and then, oh, I cannot sit still. And then Ramona goes back in and she goes and talks to Sonya and says that the last time that that she was on the island with Bethany was when, his name is not Marco. What is her husband's name? I don't think it matters. When her ex-husband and her were doing their 17th wedding anniversary vow renewal. And so she was saying because of that, that's why her and Bethany had this touch and go type relationship. All the other girls are pretty much settling in. Luann and Bethany went paddleboarding. Seems like that was pretty much it until dinner time. A lot of small talk, but all the girls kind of, not all of them, but everybody, but pretty much, I want to say Bethany, kind of gangs up on Sonya about how she like gets drunk all the time and she drinks a lot, and she went to a party and was trying to kiss some guy, and I think that's been Sonya's character this entire time she's been on the show. Like the entire time that I've seen Sonya on this show, she's always been this same party, easy to sleep with type woman. So I'm not exactly sure why they chose now to bring it up, but at this point, she's sober, so it gets to her. And so Bethany tries to have a heart to heart with her, and she is not all that accepting of it. She doesn't understand why the girls she's defensive. She doesn't understand why all the girls are coming after her, and pretty much Bethany's trying to talk to her, but it's Sonya. Has she ever listened to anybody? So anyway, Luann comes in, like the Bethany screams, "Shut the F up," to, what is her name? Sonya. And all the girls are outside because the rooms are right next to each other. They're right on the little patio or whatever the area is. And Bethany is, when Bethany gets loud, all the girls decide that somebody needs to go in there and shut them up. So Luann decides she's going to do it. And when Luann goes in, she goes like really hard at Bethany. Like, okay, well, we're having dinner. Y'all need to come on out here and eat. And Bethany's like, just walk away. And I don't know why, but if any of you ever watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene always says that the new girls are coming for her spot, or they need to argue with her to be seen or be known or whatever. And I never believed that. I never did. I was just like, no, Nene, that's not why. They just don't like you. And so with this, I feel like the girls actually do come at Bethany. Kristen comes at Bethany. Luann came at, I just don't understand why they come at her knowing her personality. It's different when it's a Luann or it's a Sonya or a Ramona, because they have a different personality. But everybody knows that Bethany is really, really wound up tight. And so everybody wants to argue with Bethany at some point, and then they want to jump into her arguments and tell her what to do and talk that. Bethany doesn't accept that, especially if she's in an argument. You know how intense it gets when she's arguing. So why would you come in and try to, tell her, well, you need to do this and you need to. I just don't understand that. I feel like everybody's kind of taking their turn at trying to get to Bethany. It's not maybe in a serious form, but they just all kind of seem to act like they don't know how Bethany is after all these years where we've seen her before and her spinoff. So she, gets Luann to go on back. Luann's like, look, I'm not looking for a fight. And I was thinking, you sure not with Bethany. And then Ramona comes in. She's like, y'all are stressing me out. Can y'all just stop? And, She was in there for maybe all of 2 seconds when Bethany was like, shut the F up and shut the door. And so she went outside and shut the door, and that's what it was. So they finally finished their conversation with Bethany trying to get to Sonia, and Sonia saying, well, you know what? Well, I think Bethany was just trying to vent to me about some stuff that's going on in her life. And so I was just like, okay. And so they finally go sit down to dinner, and Luann is asked by Bethany when it's the last time she had some good stuff. And she said it was 2 nights ago. It was the best she ever had. And how, it's like you just want to be with that person, but you don't have to be with that person, because for so long she needed a man, and now she doesn't need a man. That was probably the gist of the whole trip so far. I heard, I think Andy said that it's going to be about 4 episodes of this trip. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a whole lot of drama and then reconciling, and then drama and then reconciling. I like the way they ended it tonight with reconciling, and all the reconciling. Well, sorry if that sounded country, but all the women came together and they had a good time. So that was that. Tell me if I missed anything, even in my recap. I know it was some things that went on, especially with Dorinda and Ramona. So, tell me what you guys thought of the episodes. I know a lot. I mean, to me, as far as Housewives are concerned, this one seems to be the least scripted that I watched. I only watched 2, so it's kind of. But tell me what I missed. Tell me what you guys liked about it. I will hopefully see you guys next week, and you have a good one. Bye bye.